So I'm just back from the scrapyard where I've been gathering the bits and pieces that I might need for this job. Some I already had, like the bit of I-beam there was from my rotary positioner build. That was what was left over. I've cut a couple of bits there off the other bits of scrap of this beam, which I'm going to put in the ends. I want to stiffen this up as much as possible, and I'll probably put some pieces across the middle, either crossways or straight across, I'm not sure yet, just so I stop any wobble. Got a couple of bits of EN16T which should be strong enough, I reckon, to do the job. They're going to go up the sides there as the runners. That's inch diameter. I've also got this top tool. I don't know where this came from, but I've had it kicking about for ages. I've just run the wire brush over it, clean it up, and it looks in quite good nick. I've also got these. Don't know what they are, but they're going to be. I'm going to drill them out, and they're going to be the sliders. It's pretty hard stuff. I tried drilling one just now, and it's blooming hard. So I'm going to have to take that over to a friend of mine and get to do it on his lathe. Because my poor little thing won't cope. Now this stuff, 1¼ inch by 2 3/4. Nice bit of solid bar. That's going to be one at the top to take this. I'm going to drill a hole in it, put that in there, so I can change the tools if necessary. This one's going to be at the bottom, which will take the bottom tool, which I haven't actually got yet. These are going to go at the sides there, once they're drilled, obviously. One each side, and slide, hopefully, up and down on the sliders. Yeah, I've got my eyes open on the internet for a bottom tool, but in the meantime, I'm probably just going to make one out of this, bit of angle. I'm going to put it on a separate plate so I can bolt it to this bottom bit again, so I can change tools. Obviously, you're going to fill up all along the sides underneath here, so it's got some support, and I might even run a bead of hard facing along the top there. Depends what time I get. And so I'm going to bolt it to that so I can change things if necessary. So I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and obviously the power source. This is what I'm going to use to power it. A 20-ton bottle jack, picked up for buttons on good old eBay. Had that kicking around the workshop for a few years now and hardly ever use it, so I thought I might as well put it to some use. So let's get cracking. We'll start putting it all together. So first off, I'm going to weld these ends in. Got my trusty magnets there to hold it all together. Give it a tack. They're brilliant, those little magnets. You can turn them on and off, and so you can really place them where you want them, then just switch them on, and they've got it. Mag switches they're called. There's a link to them in the description on my Amazon page if you're interested. They do all sorts of different sizes and shapes. Alright, so let's tack them on. Get rid of my magnets. Also got there, you can't quite see it, got a magnet earth clamp. So just turn that on, make sure we've got a good earth onto the job. That looks okay. So let's start welding her up. Now this bit I'm going to try and weld all the way around these end plates. I want this base to be nice and stiff, so that's why I'm going to put in the braces across the bottom. See the heat travelling through there. So that's the first 4 welds done, or is it 8 welds? 4 I think, along the bottom there. Got this turned up fairly high, so I think that's got it. It's nothing fancy, but I think that's got it. So let's see if we can crack on round the rest of it. I'm using, if anyone's interested, 1mm wire No idea on amps or settings because my ammeter on the machine has packed up. Something ran into it and broke it, so I've no idea, so I do it all by guesswork. Just turn it up till it's about right. There you go, again nothing fancy, but that's got it. That ain't going nowhere. So we'll see if we can rush around the rest of it. I think I might need to get myself a bigger gun or a water cooled one because I've only done a few runs and that's red hot because, as I say, I've got this turned up not quite high. But never mind, it'll do the job. So I've done it all the way around now, done the edges there as well, all around both sides. I think that's probably got it fairly good. And look at that, it's British steel. None of your Chinese rubbish here. So just going to cut the pieces that I want to put in the bottom. It's the braces where the jack's going to go. And so I did think about doing them sort of crossed. I think it's just as well to just put them in straight. The jack is about 5.5 inches wide at the base, so I'm going to put these in at about, I don't know, 4 inches apart, so that should give it a nice bit of stiffness across the base of the jack. So I'm just marking that off. I don't think I'm going to need to actually bolt the jack into it. I want to be able to just lift it out so I can use it as a proper ordinary jack if I need to. So I think what I'll probably do, which you'll obviously see later on, is just put some bits of metal sort of blocks on the base of it so that the jack will just drop in to where it needs to be each time, and then I can just lift it out. I think there's going to be enough weight from the jack, and you know, when it's pushing upwards, that it's not going to jump out. So I'm just lining these up. All I've done with these is put a little radius in the corners where it sits down. The other one in. Quite, you know, not a tight fit, but they do need hammering in. I think that's not far off. No, I haven't gone quite right down. Got it. Right. Let's tack them in. There we go. I've just put, I'm not fully welding these. I think the tacks will be plenty. You know, it's got it at both ends, which I think is the most important bit. So now onto the piece that I'm going to put the sort of top die in. I said I was going to drill it. Now, because the bar is only 1.25 inches and the spigot on the top tool is 1 inch, it's not going to actually leave me a lot of meat around the hole. So I'm just going to weld on these plates, A, to strengthen it where the hole is, and B, gives me something to drill and tap to put a grub screw in that will hold the top tool in place. So I've just cleaned it up a bit, marked out where I want it, and this is 10mm thick, 3/8, and I'm going to leave it slightly away from that edge and closer to the bottom edge where it's going to be, where the hole is going to be, because that top edge, the hole doesn't go quite to the top, put it that way. The hole's only 2 inches deep, and this is 2 3/4, so we've got 3/4 of an inch without a hole near the top. I'm just checking that it's somewhat symmetrical. Nice and solid. Tack her up. I think that's going to be another one of my phrases. Tack her up. Keep saying it, not on purpose, but what I think I'm going to do on the uprights, because those bits of bar seem to be very hard, I shall probably do it with a stick and use some 70/18s just to make sure, because on some of this hard bar you use the MIG and although it's got it, it becomes crystalline around the weld, and you give it a whack or put some pressure on it and it just pulls the material off the sort of bar with the weld. So I'm going to use some 70/18s on that bit. It's trouble getting stuff from the scrapyard unless it's actually got it written on what it was. You can often get some quite interesting materials. Right, there you go. I think that's got it. Again, quick run round there. Don't think that's going to go anywhere. So I shall drill that, tap it with a grub screw as we do the other side. I'm going to do both sides because, as I say, it's only eighth wall will be left by the time I've drilled it. Let's check that one. $15mm from the top. And away we go. Went a bit wrong on that last weld. Somehow I managed to get a bit of undercut. Anyway, had a bit of a hiccup because I lost a bit of footage. You've lost a bit of me drilling the hole. But anyway, I've drilled the hole. It was very straightforward. This is quite soft stuff compared with the rest of the steel. So now I just want to mark where I'm going to put the grub screw. I don't want it to go right the way down because the hole only goes 2 inches down. So it's not like it's right to the bottom. So I only want to go about an inch down. So I'm just going to mark the centre. Right, let's get over to the drill press, see what we can do. I'm putting a 10mm grub screw in here, basically because I haven't got anything bigger. Simple as that. I've got a load of old grub screws kicking about, and the biggest one I've got is 10mm. So that's what I'm going to use. .5 tapping drill. Bit of CT90. Ease the way. Just eyeing it up, making sure it's going in straight both ways. Have a look that way. Don't look too bad. pretty good. Now then, find a bit of rag. There's my grub screw. You see how long it's been kicking about, covered in rust. But I think it will still do the job. It's just come through, so that's about right. So let's just try the top die in it, make sure it was going to work. Tweak it up with my Allen key. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. It's only got to hold it there just to stop it dropping out, really. I don't know whether I'll have to put anything to keep it straight. Anyway, these are going to go on next. You can see I took them over to my friend's and drilled them out on his big old lathe. It still took some time, so they're pretty hard, whatever they are. So I've decided the first job is to weld one lot to the shafts. So I'm using the 7018s because I think, not knowing what this steel is, I think it's probably safest to use the 7018s. Do the other one. Sped all this welding up a little bit. You don't really want to see me mucking about with a welder. You can see how the heat flows down through that steel. The colours are coming through it. So I'm going to let all this cool down naturally. Not going to quench anything. Right, so I've got it all clamped up on this bar. I've got clamps all over the place because it wouldn't hold straight, but it seems to now. And I'm just going to put some tacks in. Because I want to try and make sure that I get the uprights obviously parallel, otherwise the things won't slide. So I'll just keep checking, tacking and checking. I think we're about right still. I'm just going to put the other one in on top. And that slides nicely now. It's still sliding nicely. So let's weld it all up. So again, I'm just going to use the 7018s, but I'm just going to put a tack on each corner. I don't want it to go too far. I am slightly concerned that with the amount of heat that I'm going to be putting into these, they will contract, shrink onto the shafts, and the shafts will be stuck. One of the reasons I've left the shafts right on the end, A, to keep them parallel, and B, if it does stick, I haven't got too far to knock it off. I have brought a reamer back with me from my friends, inch reamer, just in case they shrink. And what I'm doing, I'm just going to do one run on each bit, turn it over and go to the next bit, move around, go to the next bit, and then keep doing that until I've had all my passes, as it were, because it's going to take a couple of passes on each weld, I think. Right, there we go. I've done it all. I didn't show you all the passes. I've just given it a quick brush up, wire brush. It's not fancy. Don't suppose it'll pass any tests. A bit of undercut on that one. You can see where the heat's spread out around that bush. But I think it's got it. It's not going to go anywhere. You know, I've got a 20 ton jack on it, so it's going to take quite a bit of stick. So I don't really want it to go anywhere. I probably could have done with using a slightly smaller jack, but it's the one I'd got. So there we go. I'm going to let it all cool down naturally because it is absolutely red hot at the moment. So that's it for part 1. I hope you've clicked the subscribe button and all the notification buttons so you'll get the second part straight into your inbox. So there you go. Let's see how we get on with this and catch you on the next one.